Last episode, we kicked off the 5th Age quest grind and finished up the Rise of the Red Axe questline. This episode, it's straight back to more questing, including 4 master quests. So let's get started.
I'm moving over to Karamja for my next quest, which is going to be the Tai Bwo Wannai Trio quest, and I'm already managed to get myself poisoned somehow, so going well so far. Tai Bwo Wannai Trio is basically just a glorified fetch quest, where you run about Karamja teaching the first brother how to fish, cooking some weird meals for the second, and giving performance-enhancing drugs to the third. You know, so he can kill an innocent jungle creature with a poison spear. Still, anything to bring a family back together again. Like a lot of mid-level quests that came out in the early 2000s, the rewards are worthless, so let's not talk about them. Actually, let's talk about them. In fact, let's hear me vent about them in real time, because they really suck. I mean, it's just such a terrible quest reward. Like, there's no sugarcoating this, right? Like, none of this is interesting to me at all. I do get some extra rewards from talking to the guys now, but yeah, that hurts a little bit. You know, it took an hour. It took an hour. Oh, it is a requirement for the Karamja achievement diary though, so there is at least that. Okay, because I'm an absolute glutton for punishment, I'm gonna do another quest that I remember just despising on my main, which is rat catchers. But honestly, it can't be as bad as the quest I just did, so I will content myself with that. Speaking of quests that struggle to justify their existence, I present to you Rat Catchers. It was released back in 2005 as a tie-in to introduce the minigame Rat Pits, which was in turn removed in 2016 because the quality of the minigame was described as of a poor standard. Sadly, they forgot to remove the actual quest itself. Jokes aside, it's a largely forgettable experience where a series of ugly people teach your cats how to catch rats. And the game makes sure that you know these people are really ugly. I mean, absolutely hideous. They go all out to make sure you didn't forget this fact during any of the dialogues. There is at least an epic showdown between your cat and a particularly big rat. Wiki goes to great lengths to emphasize it is not a safe death for your cat. Thankfully, my cat survived. At least as a reward, you get 4,500 thieving XP, also known as the amount of thieving XP you can get in 1 minute at safe crack. Fast forward in time over a decade to 2018, and we have Violet is Blue, and it literally could not be further removed from rat catchers in terms of both quality and tone. Violet is Blue is a small, standalone Christmas quest set in the land of snow. It's super fun, charming, and just all round one of the best seasonal quests Jagex have ever released. In it, you help the orphan child Violet, who's been adopted by Yetis, make her first ever visit to the annual Yeti Town Festival. Violet is adorable, the art design is incredible, and the whole thing is just one of the best one-off quests Jagex have ever done. In an obviously Frozen-inspired narrative, you solve puzzles, throw snowballs, and build snow sleds. There's also a post-quest reward of up to 90,000 XP in a skill of your choice, although I'm only eligible for 40,000 of that at my current level. Overall, it's a fantastic change of pace after the previous 2 quests that really showed their age, and it's just a great showcase of Jagex's more modern storytelling ability. On to a slightly more serious storyline. Next up, I decided to complete Blood Runs Deep, the finale of the Fremenic quest series. Beforehand, I did it to finish up the medium and hard Fremenic achievement diaries, which are actually a prerequisite for the quest. The tasks are generally fairly trivial, but you do need to get a full set of tier 50 Dagonoth armor as a drop from the Waterbirth Island Dagonoth, in order to complete the Dress to Impress achievement. Hey, a circular hide, finally, okay, excellent. You know, I only had to kill about 150 of them, which is not too bad. Little on the drop rate. So like a 1 in 70 drop. Right, so I think that's all done. I get the last of the task sets finished. I get my tier 3 boots, which I will probably never use, and my antique lamp, which gives me 15k Herblore XP, and that is 83 Herblore. Nice. That was really good. I think with boosts, I can now make super anti-fire potions, which actually means I can start doing things like QBD. Here we are outside Baba Yaga's chicken house, finally ready to start Blood Runs Deep. I've got my best hybrid armor on. It's a complete mess. It doesn't go together at all. It's the worst fashion scape you'll ever see, but it's effective, hopefully. Let's go.
Blood Runs Deep pulls together all of the various Fremenic storylines, and it's a very long and mostly non-linear quest series. The central protagonists are the Dagonoths from the Horror from the Deep quest, the people of Relica, and the Moon Clan. But there's actually a bevy of different characters who get to make an appearance. In it, you realize that, in part due to your own actions, the Dagonoths are rising as an unstoppable force to invade the mainland. You also discover that, surprise surprise, only you are prophesized to be able to stop it. What follows is a series of epic, if slightly graphically outdated, encounters between the Dagonoths and the finally united Fremenic peoples. It's also one of the few quests where, as a hardcore Ironman, you get to die twice, and come back to life each time. But maybe let's not get too used to that. You also get married, but spoiler alert, it ends badly. And quickly. And messily. Maybe don't get married, kids. Unfortunately, like a lot of pre-EOC quests, the final fight has become pretty trivial over time, and the much hyped Dagonoth Mother goes down like a mid-level Slayer mob. It does at least have the kind of quest reward that the finale of such a great quest series deserves. 450k XP in any combat skill over level 75, except summoning. 450,000 prayer XP is absolutely fantastic on an Ironman, as I'll need as high a prayer level as possible to meet my PVM goals later in this account's life. Next up, I want to finish the Menophost quest series, also known as the Desert quest series. So, why am I stuck up in the snow somewhere near the North Pole, I hear you ask? Well, because to finish the quest series, I need 73 Hunter, so I'll be spending the next hour or so catching Azure skill chompers. There's 72 Hunter, and there's 73 Hunter. Skill rate done, and back to questing. I have 3 quests left in the Desert quest series. Crocodile Tears, which I just ground out 73 Hunter for, Our Man in the North, and Fight Club. The entire Desert quest series is about the decline of the old pantheon of desert gods, and the rise of Amaskut. Once the goddess of destruction and rebirth, and an integral part of a desert pantheon, Amaskut has become the Devourer, a twisted and corrupted form of her former self. She's been busy corrupting the various other gods in the area as part of a grand plan that hasn't yet come to fruition. Crocodile Tears concerns the corruption of Krondus, the crocodile god of resourcefulness and modesty. Krondus, under the influence of Amaskut, has become gluttonous and insatiable, much to the distress of her put-upon high priest. More problematically, Krondus' own fall from grace is inextricably linked to the behaviour of her own people, who have likewise become selfish and greedy. To meet Krondus' seemingly never-ending desires, you have to bring her fish, toothpicks, golden pyramid tops, more toothpicks for some reason, and croc ice. But I'll forgive her that last one because the desert is hot and ice cream is amazing. Eventually, you force out the corruption that's infested Krondus and defeat it in single combat in a boss fight that's both relatively easy but also thematically appropriate, as the corruption attempts to eat food out of your inventory and make terrible puns.
Okay, this boss has a mechanic where you can steal your food. So I'm gonna start just dropping it on the floor, then picking it up only when I need it.
Lastly, I want to point out that Krondus looks fantastic, and some artist somewhere definitely needs a raise. Our Man in the North deals with Het, the goddess of physical and mental strength. Like Cronus, he's also fallen from grace, and without his strength, the people of the desert have become weak, cowardly, and deceptive. For reasons I don't fully understand, defeating the villainous ambassador Jabari causes him to return. Cornering Jabari for the fight does involve plenty of cool parkour, acrobatics, and Assassin's Creed inspired swan dives, so maybe Het was just inspired by our example. Fight Club is the final quest in the Desert Quest series, at least for now. In it, you help Osman, the rightful heir to the Menethos throne, take it back from the cruel and greedy pharaoh who currently sits atop it. The quest is incredibly short and is basically just a boss fight. It's not a trivial fight though for a hardcore Ironman, as the fight has a known bug that causes you to die unless you have a Ring of Life. Once you've defeated the pharaoh, who, to the surprise of absolutely no one who's been paying attention, has been corrupted by Amskit, you have the chance to decide his fate. Before you can pass judgment though, Osman shows up and kills him anyway. Also, Osman is probably corrupted by Amskit at this point too. Also, apparently everything is going to plan for Amskit anyway. A diamond she stole 6 quests ago turns out to have the soul of her dead dad, and she explodes the soul altar. Basically, it's all kicking off. And there should probably be a 6th Age desert quest coming along at some point. In total, as a quest reward, you mostly just get Menethos reputation, which is of limited use, but you do also get some decent XP overall, as well as a perk where you no longer need water skins in the desert, which is actually some pretty nice quality of life. So this is the last quest in this episode, but I will be back next episode, as I still have 12 5th Age quests still to do, including some really big ones. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. It really helps support and motivate me to make more content, and lets me know the account is going in the right direction. See you next time.